The Cairns Foundation and the Volusia County Business Incubation Program, powered by UCF, welcome everyone to the Cairns Foundation Innovation Challenge 2020. Today, we're proud to present 6 teams from Daytona State College, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and Stetson University. But before we start with the challenge, I would like to share with you a video from last year's event. Then I'll bring to the main screen our last year winner, Bryson's picture. So I'm gonna share the video. Okay, please mute yourself, okay? Because I hear some noise. Oh, that was kind of cool. I miss you guys. I miss to shake your hands. I miss to give you hugs, but I like this format so we can have a lot of people who's not in town right now. Okay, now I would like to bring Bryson to give us an update of his business development. Is Bryson?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Hi.
Share now.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. So my name is Bryson Pritchard. I was grateful enough to be last year's first place contestant at the Innovation Challenge. So I'm the CEO and founder of DEJA Syringe with Pritchard Innovations. And I've worked at Halifax Health in Daytona Beach for about 2 years or 3 years now in the medical intensive care unit. And it's during that time that I saw a problem with the way that we administer medication. So I was actually during a cardiac arrest. I remember looking down on the floor and seeing it littered with syringes full of normal saline. And that problem arises by how we give medications in healthcare right now through IV access. So if you look to the left, this IV, you are given a medication with one syringe, and then you use an entirely different syringe full of normal saline to flush the stagnant medication into the vein in your hand. But that poses a couple of risks to the patient, such as bloodstream infections, time is an issue, waste is an issue as well. And so my solution was the DEJA syringe. So it's a 2-compartment syringe. The second compartment in blue is saline, and then the initial compartment, which would be filled with medication, is in red. And then you would puncture into the secondary compartment, which allows you to flush the entire syringe and medication into the vein with just one syringe. So my milestones achieved from last year is I did a bunch of market validation. I completed my first working prototype. I filed for provisional patent status, and then the innovation challenge happened. And so I was, granted the opportunity to be able to file for my utility patent and continue conversations with licensing partners. And so over the past year, I've spoken to 2 companies. One is SteriCare, so they're the largest private equity-backed syringe manufacturer in the U.S. We got all the way up to conversations about, my royalties and licensing agreements. It was a soft, pretty much a soft agreement. In about 2 weeks for me to fly out to Texas, where they are located. They had a liquidity event, considering they are private equity backed. And then I continued on with my search for partners with licensing, and I spoke with Beckenden Dickinson, BD, which is the largest syringe manufacturer in the entire world. They own the majority of the market share in multiple markets across the world. And I spoke to the CEO, and they're incredibly interested in the product. They are waiting until I hear back from the United States Patent Attorneys, or the Patent and Trademark Office, with my patent that I submitted. So here it is. So this is what all of our conversations are kind of revolving around with the licensing agreements. And then my plan forward is to identify ideal licensing partners. With the coronavirus kind of putting a speed bump in the road, I'm able to kind of have a little bit more time to identify the most ideal licensing partner, still make those connections, still looking for partnerships. And then once I solidify who I'm going to license this product out to, the patent to, then assist that partner with bringing the product to market and then selling. I've been also given enough time to work on other products in healthcare that I've wanted to fix, problems that I've seen while working, and then also problems outside of healthcare that I've been working on too. So that is my update. I just want to say thank you so much for having me here, inviting me back and presenting. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity last year to be able to present, and I'm just excited to see this year's presentations as well. So if anyone has any questions about my progress and what I've been up to, please feel free to ask.
Any questions? Good job. We're very proud of your development. Great job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
good job.
Good job. Any questions for Bryson before we move to the next speaker? Okay.
Did you have to travel both places to accomplish what you did?
Yeah, so I'm grateful that the patent attorney that I used is local. He graduated his MBA through Volusia County. So he is located just on the other side of Florida over in St. Pete. So not much traveling involved with the patent. And then as well with the kind of finding and starting to negotiate licensing agreements, Florida is not the largest with manufacturers of syringes. Usually it's up in the Northeast or the Midwest. So I've been kind of just remotely having conversations with those companies as well. So not too much traveling, but hopefully in the near future.
Very good.
I have a question. Are you seeking financial partners to move forward?
Yes, I am. So there's two routes that I can go through this. Really, one is like SteriCare. So they wanted to expand my intellectual property internationally. They wanted to cover the cost of the molds, which are very expensive, as well as kind of the operational side of things to get this to the market. There's also that route that I can go by myself with kind of fee-for-service, companies as well, that I would, pay for specific fees, such as molds and such as just different aspects of getting this product to the market, which financially is troublesome. So I'm always open to financial partners as well.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Any other questions before we move to the next speaker? Okay, good. So now our next speaker is Dr. Cairns. Dr. Cairns is the founder of the Cairns Foundation, whose mission is to identify and assist bright students. Dr. Cairns received a bachelor's degree in physics from the University of Pittsburgh, master's degree in physics from the San Diego University, and a PhD in marine physics from the University of California. He has started many companies. Some of them were sold to Lockheed Martin, and another one was sold to Teledyne Technologies. His principal activities are developing of new technologies, of the offshore systems, and supporting young people to help them achieve their entrepreneurial goals. Dr. Cairns holds more than 60 patents, the majority of which have resulted in commercial products. Please welcome Dr. Jim Cairns. Thank you, Cairns, for everything you do.
Thank you very much, Connie. I'm impressed by that introduction. My God. Anyhow, I want to thank you all for being here today. This is our 7th Innovation Challenge. And so over those years, we've had a pretty good run. And with people like Bryson presenting their ideas to us, we've had several successes to move forward who are still in business and doing well. And so I thank you all for being here because, well, let me say, first of all, we tried to set this up as an in-person event as we had done in the past. And it just couldn't work out. So we're here virtually, and I'm glad that you
Got all under caps?
Hello? Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's important that you're here because you provide a fairly large audience for young people to present their projects to. And you also present a potential investor pool for them. And in the past, some of our presenters have teamed up with people like John Folvig and others and have received financing to get their projects going forward and have ongoing commercial success. So it's very satisfying to us and I think helpful to our community. Well, I want to, before we get into the presentations, just recognize the sponsors of today's event. There are 2 prizes today, a first and second prize, and each of these are 2-part prizes. So the second prize is $5,000 in cash to be applied to the students' program. That's one part of it. And the other part of it is a 1-year non-resident participation in UCF Incubator here in Daytona Beach. So that's a pretty nice start for a second prize. The first prize is $10,000 given by the Cairns Foundation and a year's residency at the Connie's UCF Business Incubator. And that's a wonderful, wonderful start for a nascent company because it gives them an office and it gives them all the secretarial and technical help, a lab space, and mentoring in every aspect of starting a new business. And Connie offers that, and thank you very much, Connie, that's great. There is another thing that I'll mention to you, just that does not have anything much to do with the Innovation Challenge, but with the generous contributions from Rosadia and Paul Upchurch, the foundation has also been able to help fund some student projects at local universities. Very exciting physics and engineering projects, which they're not up for competition in this event, but it's just a good thing to do to help these programs. So if any of you really want to make a small investment and to join into one of these as a donor to one of these projects, you can do that, and you can follow the projects, be part of the team, and it's an exciting event. So it's a great thing to do. Now, since last year's event, some of you know this, but I have stepped aside as the director of the Cairns Foundation, and I've been director since 2003 when it started. And I have asked my good friend and long-time business associate, Rick Fraser, to take over the leadership of the foundation. And I'm very pleased that he agreed to do that. I can't tell you how pleased I am, actually, but I know that Rick will do a wonderful job to carry it forward. And so, Rick, I turn this event over to you as our moderator, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Jim. By the way, I think you also, there's a couple of sponsors that I know you wanted to acknowledge that I didn't hear you say. One was Volusia County and the other was the Hunter Foundation.
I believe that, oh, did I forget to say the Hunter Foundation? I think they put up this $5,000 second prize. And of course, Connie's organization, thank you for that, but Connie's organization is actually in partnership with Volusia County. So very indebted to all of those. And if I passed them up, that's my bad memory.
Well, I'm your conscience too, Jim. So thanks, Jim, for those kind comments. As you said, I've been involved with the board for several years, almost from the beginning, I think. And just before we get into the presentations, I got some thank yous of my own. One is to the Cairns Foundation board. This board has really stepped up this year with all of the different things we've had to deal with. People just stepped it up to the plate and took on tasks. Connie, for one, Kevin, Art, Rosaria. I mean, we just, Sonia, we just got a great board. And I want to thank you all for stepping up and helping us pull this thing together. I also want to thank the faculty advisors and the students for your patience and your cooperation in pulling this thing off. It's been, we were going to do this in March, so it's been quite a ride for all of us. And I want to thank you for being so cooperative and patient with us as we did this. And I also want to thank the judges. I think all of them or most of them are on the call. And they'll be getting together around 5:30 to make a judgment as to who the winners are. So again, thanks to all of you for being here and to all of you who stepped up to make this thing happen today. Okay, we're just about on schedule, so I'm not going to slow it up. Our first presentation is the Herbie rake from Kendall Buck from Stetson. Kendall, are you ready?
So hold on. One thing, the rules. Remember, you cannot pass 5 minutes. I'm gonna be timing you up, and then you stop, and then you're gonna have 3 minutes for questions and answers, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Where is our first presenter? Okay, let me set up.
I think he was just there.
Okay. Okay, good. So I'm gonna start right now. 3, 2, 1, go, Kendall.
My dad, Gordon, was a chef for 14 years. So growing up, I spent a lot of time in the kitchen. I loved to cook, but the only downside was trying to decide who was gonna get stuck having to strip the leaves off the herbs. This was especially annoying when it came to making pesto or cooking with cilantro. For those of you who have used cilantro, you know it's a tedious task to have to individually separate each leaf from the stem. My name is Kendall Buck, and the first product that I have designed is YUUBIHIRE. YUUBIHIRE is an easy-to-use kitchen tool that makes cooking fun and efficient. And watch just how easy this is. Now that you've seen a little demo, I'm going to go ahead and present my slide deck. Just to reiterate, the problem here is that stripping leaves off of herbs is tedious and time-consuming, and it often takes the fun out of using herbs or even discourages people from using herbs at all. As you just saw, my solution is YUUBIHIRE. YUUBIHIRE is easy to use and it's simple. It saves people time while also improving their cooking experience. I've been on a mission to talk to as many people as possible, and I even conducted an online survey where I found that 81% of cooking enthusiasts would love to buy this product if it was in the market. Cooking enthusiasts love to have all of the gadgets possible to make cooking easier and more efficient. This is similar to maybe pet owners who love to have all of the possible products for their pets, such as these ridiculous products right here. So if people are willing to buy mop slippers for their dogs, then I'm sure cooking enthusiasts would be more than happy to have YUUBIHIRE for their kitchen. My go-to-market strategy is to target cooking enthusiasts. I'll be doing this by accessing both the physical and digital world. Online, I'll have my own website where I'll have sales, along with selling on Amazon, Facebook, and Instagram. I also hope to attack the physical world one day by getting into trade shows and local farmers markets. But that's after coronavirus, of course. I've done a lot of research and I found that 4 out of 5 American households regularly prepare home-cooked meals. And there's more than 450 cooking TV shows in the United States. This is a testament that people want to learn more about cooking, learn more recipes, or often spend a lot of time cooking, enough to sit down and watch an hour television show about it. So there's more than 113 million cooking enthusiasts in the United States alone. And all of these statistics together prove that there is a market for URBIHIRE. There are 2 competing products on the market, but this is great news for me because they implicitly validate my market. And URBIHIRE, of course, is better, and that's because of this handle right here. The handle makes it easier and more efficient for consumers, and the dual sides on the rake also accelerate the process. My strategic partners and advisors at this point are Lou Paris, who's helped me take my idea to commercialization, Tony Gonis, who's helped me with my prototyping, Exometry, which created my professional prototype, Join Fund Manufacturing in China, who I'll be using for my manufacturing moving forward, Josh Delsini and his marketing team, who are going to help me launch URBIHIRE and get my sales online, and finally, my IP attorney, Steve Bullock. I've been talking to a company in China, as I had just mentioned, Join Fund, and I asked them to give me a price breakdown for 2 different tiers. The first one being 500 units, at which my cost would be $1 per unit, and the second at 1,000 units, which drops my cost to 80 cents per unit. I'm leaning right now with going for 1,000 units, so I broke down the cost even more to show that it would be $1.65 landed in the United States, and that is including packaging and shipping. I plan to sell URBIHIRE for $9, but only $8.99, of course. And my profit per unit will be $7.34. I'll initially be reinvesting my profits back into the company so that I can expand the outreach of URBIHIRE as much as possible. At this point, I am still in the pre-revenue stage, but I've already commissioned my professional prototype, which you just saw. I've gathered my early stages of feedback. I've filed for my provisional patent status, and I've registered my LLC. At this point, everything has been funded out of my own pocket, and so I'm now looking for outside sources of investments or bank loans so that I can continue to pursue getting URBIHIRE to market. My path forward is to commission my mold and begin my manufacturing process, along with launching a Kickstarter campaign and a social media campaign on Facebook and Instagram, utilizing the help of influencers in the industry. Then finally, and most importantly, selling URBIHIRE as much as possible. Help me get URBIHIRE in the hands of cooking enthusiasts. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Kendall Buck, the inventor of URBIHIRE.
Wow, great. 3 seconds left. Good job, Kendall.
Thank you.
Okay. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Rick.
We got 3 minutes, I think, kind of for Q&A. So
Okay, let's time the. Okay, we're gonna start with questions for Kendall now. 3 minutes.
This is Jeff.
Hi.
I have a question for Kendall. Hi. How did you establish your sales price of $8 or $9, whatever it was that you had on your slide?
Yeah, so I actually started by looking at the prices of the competing products that I showed and the different variations of them, and they typically sell for about $9 or $10. So I wanted to be in that range, but since I will just be starting off, I didn't want to reach all the way to the high end just quite yet. So that's how I chose the $8.99.
Okay, thank you.
Second question.
Yeah, this is Jack Surratt. Have you identified the mold cost involved?
Yes, so the same company that I'll be getting my manufacturing from is the company that's going to commission my mold for me. When we originally started talking to them, they wanted about $2,500, but we talked them down to $1,700 for the mold, and I plan to buy that outright so that I do have full ownership of it, so that if anything needs to happen, I can easily move to wherever I need to.
Okay, and is any of that mold cost put back in your cost of goods?
We did not do that. Since I'm going to be buying it outright, we wanted to see what the cost would be like after we had already bought the mold. So we kind of just set that price aside for the initial sales while we were looking at the numbers to see what our profits would be.
Thank you.
1 minute and a half left. Next question, Dr. Cairns.
I just, that sounds awfully cheap to me for an injection mold. Is that a 1 cavity mold or?
Yeah, So since the way that YUUBIHIRE is designed, and we specifically did this knowing how expensive molds are, we only need one piece. We don't need multiple pieces to produce it. And so with only having the single mold, it makes it a little bit cheaper, and then by good haggling skills as well.
Any other question?
Yeah, have you investigated what the cost would be to produce the units in America?
I did look at that, especially with everything that was going on with coronavirus, but it is much more expensive. One company that I talked to said it would be closer to $10,000 for my mold because they use like different materials and everything. And so that just isn't feasible for me at this time, which is why I've chosen to outsource to China.
And what about the cost of production after you have the mold?
Yeah, so my cost then is about $2.50 per unit, depending on which factory I choose. And I even looked into continuing to 3D print the product with the company that I'm using. But right now for my 3D printing, I'm paying between $15 and $20 per rake. And I just don't think that that would be very good for my company.
At the 215 versus 165 landed, difference of 50 cents per unit. What would your thoughts be on boosting the price to $9.99 a unit and be able to advertise that it's made in USA product?
Yeah, I would definitely consider that. And I have even talked to my advisor and a few other people on my team about possibly moving our manufacturing to the United States, but we just hadn't really worked with like any contracting or anything. And as far as we have with the company in China so far.
Okay, thank you so much for the questions. Time's up. We're going to move to the next presenter.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for the questions.
Okay, thank you, Connie. Okay, our next presenter is a product called FrizzBowl, and it's Kristen Chappell from Stetson University.
Okay, whenever you're ready, Christian, let me know so we can start the time.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Ready?
Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Chappell, and I'm the owner of FrizzBowl. So on the left side of my screen here is my dog, Duchess. She's very active, and I take her with me pretty much everywhere I go. But the problem I always run into is that I have to pack food, water, toys, you name it, anything that she needs. So after experiencing this issue, I thought it would be great if I had one product that would allow me to both feed and play with my dog that's also easy to store. So I created FrizzBowl, which combines the Frisbee and the collapsible bowl. When the two pieces are joined, you're ready to go. And when they're separated, you're ready to feed and throw. So all you have to do is pop the collapsible bowl down, remove the Frisbee lid, and you're ready to feed and play. And once you're finished, simply pop the bowl right back down, reattach the lid, and then you could easily slip the FrizzBowl into a bag or attach the carabiner, which would be located right here, to your bag or even a belt loop. So there are currently 63 million dog-owning households in the United States. About half of these households are owners of medium to larger sized dogs, and this is my target market because this is the size of dogs that you'll generally see playing with Frisbees. So for my channels to the market, I will be starting in the digital space. So I will have my own website, and I will also be using online platforms such as Amazon and Chewy. And then I will also be reaching out to animal shelters and pet stores to sell my product through that outlet. And the ultimate goal would be to get into larger retailers such as PetSmart, Petco, and even Pet Supermarket. So two similar products. On the left side, we have the Bosnell Sip and Play, and on the right, we have the Throw Bowl. And both of these products are actually currently unavailable. So other competition would include dog Frisbees and collapsible dog bowls. But my advantages over these competitors are first, sanitation. So I have two different pieces that separate from each other. So you can actually play fetch while keeping the bowl nice and clean for your dog to eat and drink out of. And then also, The Frisbee has the ability to store food or treats while traveling. So my team currently consists of myself, of course, Lou Paris and Kevin Taylor, who serve as my advisors, Steve Bullock, who serves as my IP attorney, and then also Tony Guinness, who has helped me through the prototyping stage. So here I have my cost and revenue, and this is per unit. So the landed cost will be about $4.60, 60 cents for packaging, $1 will be for shipping, and then the other $3 are the sum of the cost of manufacturing the Frisbee and the bowl. Next is Amazon. The cost would be $10. So this will vary, but $6 will be for advertising, and then $4 will be for the referral fee. And then also, again, I will be selling through shelters and stores. However, this cost will vary depending on the business. And then next I have the revenue. So starting with Amazon, I'll be generating $20 of revenue while making a $5 profit. And then from the shelters and stores, I will be generating $10 of revenue while making a $5 profit. And last but not least, also through my website, I will be generating $20 of revenue while making a $15 profit. And all these numbers are actually based off of 1,000 in my initial inventory. So I'll need $16,000 to cover patent, injection molds, inventory, and other miscellaneous costs. And my funding sources include personal funds, reinvested profits, and then a loan if that is necessary. These are all the prototypes that I have created, and I'm currently in the process of finalizing this design. Here's the bowl. Here's the rim. You can see the grooves in it, which then attach to the Frisbee, and you simply place it in, turn it, and it locks. So help me build this active bonding experience between pets and owners. Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks.
Okay, we're gonna open this for the questions now. Questions for Christian. I'm gonna start 3 minutes.
Christian, this is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. You referenced your patent, and there's some costs associated there. What specifically is your intellectual property that you're either applying for or have applied for?
So I'll be applying for a design patent, and based on my conversation with my IP attorney, that will cost me about $7,000. So that will be the price of the patent. And then, is there any more to that?
No, that you actually, understanding that you're intending to go after a design patent, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Next question.
I have a question, Christian, Jim here. Do you have any connection with a company called Freelancer?
I do not.
I went on the internet to look for products like yours, and I put the name Frisbee in. Mm-hmm. And there's a site called Freelancer that has a product called Frisbee.
Okay. So
you might check that out, Freelancer.
Yes, I'm open to, if I need to change the name, that is something I definitely do.
Yeah, this person, Freelancer, is a freelance designer apparently, and it looks awfully lot like your product, but you might check that out to be sure.
Okay.
Somebody's not ripping you off there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you for that.
Good point. Next question. No more questions? 1 more minute. Okay, I guess we don't have any other questions. So Rick.
Okay.
Thank you, Christian. Would you please take your PowerPoint
Yes.
back?
Thank you,
Christian.
Thank you, Christian. Okay, we're going to move right quickly on to our next presenter. And I hope I'm pronouncing this right. YUUBIHIRE from DEJA Robinson, also from Stetson. DEJA, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Rick.
Hi.
Okay, tell me when you're ready, so I'll start the time.
I'm ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Hi, my name is DEJA Robinson, and this is my business, YUUBIHIRE, a platform that combines innovative recruiting techniques with social media technology. Judges, if you've ever had to hire a college student or recent grad or an internship or entry-level position, you've probably run into these problems. You get hundreds of applications with resumes that all seem more or less the same. This is by design. They teach us how to turn your job descriptions into resumes that can pass any screening or tracking technology that you're using. The result, your inbox gets cluttered with applications that look the same. To see this problem in action, let's check in on Connie. Connie works for a small business here in DeLand, and she's responsible for hiring an intern. Only 2 weeks into the process, and she's already running into problems. Not only is it taking too much time, but all their applications look the same. They have identical experiences, they've taken identical classes, and it is impossible for her to accurately discern from the applications who would be best fit for her organization. Connie is not a recruiter. She needs to find and hire the best candidate as soon as possible so that she can get back to her full-time job. YUUBIHIRE is designed for employers like Connie. YUUBIHIRE is a social media and recruitment platform that uses student data to quickly isolate the best candidates for your position. YUUBIHIRE is a portfolio-based social media. This means that not only can you see physical examples of students' work, whether that is a logo they've designed or a presentation that they've given, but you can see how they interact within a professional environment, within a social professional environment. YUUBIHIRE allows employers to authentically assess candidates even before they apply for their jobs. YUUBIHIRE is for the average employer, someone working at a small business or organization without a dedicated hiring staff who recruits entry-level talent, whether that is an entry-level position or an internship. Here in the United States, a small business is a company with 500 or less employees, and we have 30.7 million of those businesses. And to bring that back to home a little bit, in Volusia County, 89% of our businesses have less than 20 employees. The chances of any of those employees being a dedicated full-time recruiter is next to nothing. That is where YUUBIHIRE comes in. YUUBIHIRE's main two competitors are LinkedIn and Handshake, but as you can see, YUUBIHIRE is the only portfolio-based platform out there for college students and their universities. Universities are leaving LinkedIn and Handshake because they're not designed for students or their career needs. YUUBIHIRE is also designed for the average employer. LinkedIn and Handshake cater to big recruiters, and they tend to exclude smaller employers that 100 to fewer employees and smaller schools in rural areas. We will begin with a beta, we will use no-code technology to build a beta version of YUUBIHIRE in the Volusia County area to test and validate our hypothesis. We will partner with our 8 colleges and universities to recruit students and the employers that these colleges already have relationships with. We'll bring them all onto YUUBIHIRE's beta platform to test and validate our hypothesis. Then we will bring in coders and web developers to help us expand and market nationally. Our preliminary revenue model is based on a system that works. Similarly to Facebook, YUUBIHIRE will spend its first few years investing in its user base, getting students onto our platform. So that means employees will account for about 70% of the revenue that we bring in. 25% of that will be colleges and universities that already spend millions of dollars, each college and university, millions of dollars a year, getting these resources and trying to get them out to their students. And like I said, they're leaving platforms like LinkedIn and Handshake because they're not designed for students. The potential for, right now, advertisement is a very small percentage of our revenue model, but as we build, the potential for that is huge. So that's something that we'll definitely be looking forward to as we expand.
25
I'm sorry?
25 seconds.
Okay, thank you. YUUBIHIRE is about helping your business hire entry-level talent with ease. The current platforms that are out there aren't designed for our demographic, and they're not well suited for your needs. Platforms like LinkedIn are essentially online resumes. And as we mentioned earlier, resumes are not the best way to accurately see candidates for who they are.
Time's up.
Thank you.
Thank you, DEJA. Oh, good. You're finished. Good. Okay, good. So now we're going to start the questions and answers. Questions for DEJA?
DEJA, this is Jeff again. So, interesting. Where did you come up with this idea? What prompted it?
Thank you so much for this question, Jeff. Not only do I have personal experience with not fitting into platforms like LinkedIn and not really being able to convey who I am and my potential through resumes, but I spent about 2 months just identifying problems within my peers and everyone I could get my hands on. So I've interviewed and surveyed employers, students, and the career and professional development office at my school. And it occurred to me that this problem I was having with LinkedIn and resumes and just traditional hiring practices is a problem across the board. So that's really where this idea came from, and we have been working with all of our different market segments the entire way for each of all of the ideas in here.
Good answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. How do you profit from this?
Thank you for this question. YUUBIHIRE will profit by charging employers for access to our student data and our compatibility services. We will also be partnering with various colleges and universities who already spend millions of dollars a year trying to provide these services to their students. So colleges like Stetson will be able to streamline their career services through YUUBIHIRE's platform in a way to connect with their students and students elsewhere. Those are the two main ways we plan on profiting now. And as we build our platform, advertising revenue will be something that we'll pursue in the future. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I see Bruce Mann has a question that he typed in. And then now, Bruce, you've taken the question off. But I think the question was, can anybody access this from a cell phone or?
Yes, that is a great question. Thank you, Bruce. YUUBIHIRE we will start with a website, but YUUBIHIRE will be a platform that you can access, students can access on all of their devices. So as you can see here, these are a couple of wireframes that we've mocked up and presented to employers and students. So our goal here is to make YUUBIHIRE's platform as convenient and engaging as possible for all parties involved.
Okay, you have 30 seconds. Quick questions if somebody else have a question. Very quick. 25 seconds.
I do. No, what do you need to get yourself moving forward?
Thank you for that question. We need help building our beta version within the Volusia County area so we can test and validate each one of our hypotheses. Then we need access to coders and web developers to help us build and expand our platform beyond the Volusia County area. So relationships are everything, resources are everything, and obviously, hopefully you guys can help us with that. Thank you so much.
Time is up.
How about the name? How do we come up with the name?
The name is a play on words. Thank you for that question. You be you and get hired. Be yourself. Be your authentic self. Don't be hired on an image or a piece of paper. That's where the name comes from. The idea that students shouldn't have to pretend to be someone they're not just to get a job.
Okay, Deja, thank you so much for
Thank you, Connie.
the presentation and the answers. Now we're going to move to the next speaker. Good job.
Okay, thank you, Deja and Connie. Okay, our next presenter is, I'm not sure if this is, it's SIQ ankle brace, and it's Sophie Brunden with Embry Aeronautical University. Sophie, you there?
Yes, we are here. Thank you so much for having us. I'll go ahead and share my screen. And today, Isa Diang is also with me, and you will hear her very soon.
Okay, let me know when you're ready. Sophie, I'll start the time.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, 3, 2, go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isa Diang, and I am one of the 3 founders for our company, SICK Engineering LLC. Accompanying me today is one of those founders we introduced you earlier, Sophie Brunden. So soccer is the world's most popular sport. As you can see on the map, all these highlighted countries have soccer as their main sport. Ankle sprains are the most common injury in soccer. An ankle sprain is when a ligament is overstretched beyond its natural range of motion. Not only is it most common injury in soccer, but also basketball, indoor volleyball, cricket, and badminton, which makes for a very wide market. All 3 of us have experienced ankle sprains, so to solve our own issues and the #1 injury in the world's biggest sport, we decided to come up with a solution. We invented SICK Ankle Brace, which is a customized 3D printed brace to prevent ankle sprains. It also helps you during your rehabilitation phase, since it's fully customizable to also vary in your stiffness for anyone's needs. This brace is thin, so it fits in any shoe, but more specifically a soccer cleat, which is one of the tightest shoes in the market. The brace is also very lightweight and allows for natural range of motion, so the athletes aren't hindered while performing, for example, kicking a soccer ball. The unique idea with our brace is this geometric mesh layout. Naturally, your ankle range of motion differs from rotating one way versus the other. This brace also mimics the human body's natural mobility and allows different displacements for the same amount of applied force. This 3D printed idea will be patented in the near future with a utility patent. For proof of concept, as you can see, our ankle brace resists and restores the forces that the ankle is experiencing, as opposed to an ankle without the brace. There are 6.5 million ankle sprains a year in the US alone, which results in a market value of $1.7 billion for the global foot and ankle devices. We plan to sell our brace online through our website, also through clubs like Liverpool, organizations like the athletic department at our university, retail stores such as Dick's Sporting Goods, and medical professionals such as athletic trainers, because as athletes, they trust their medical team. Another way we'll sell our brace is to get the brace covered by insurance, so doctors can prescribe the brace for their patients. It would be ideal for the stores and orthopedics to custom print the ankle brace right in front of you. So right now, our manufacturing cost is roughly $8. Our margin is therefore 87% by selling our brace at $60, as opposed to the current market brace of $20 to $100. So our finance plan is devised into 4 main areas: a new 3D printer, which will bring down the production time from about 7 hours to only 5 minutes. We're currently working with consultants from the university and beyond to apply for a utility patent. This also includes production. So for our office space, software applications for faster manufacturing, and employees that help with the manufacturing processes. And lastly, of course, our marketing needs. So here before you is the most popular brace on the current market, which is visibly very bulky. Your foot can also rotate in the brace, which really doesn't hinder the motion that causes ankle sprains. And it's also very uncomfortable. Another popular alternative is ankle taping. It's only effective for 10 minutes until the tape loosens from the athlete's sweat. Another downside is that you need a trained professional to properly apply the tape, and you have to dispose of it after every use. So the team consists of the 3 founders, which all have a degree in biomechanical engineering and are also current athletes. On board is also our CFO, 3 other student athletes, and our mentor, Dr. Victor Wabimave from Embry-Riddle University. We are currently looking into different materials, talking to experts to get inputs for design improvements, manufacturing, and an official professional opinion. In addition, we're in contact with a legal team about the patents. We plan to perform a beta testing to get athletes' opinions, gather validated technical data by using cadavers, and also taking advantage of our university's motion capture lab. Thank you so much for listening. Again, my name is Isa Dieng, the COO, and I'm accompanied with Sophie Brendan, our CEO. Thank you, everyone.
Good job.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Timing. You got like 10 seconds left.
Awesome.
Okay, good. So we are going to start the questions for the presenter.
Yeah, this is Jack Surratt. I was wondering how it compares, this brace compares to a typical sleeve, not so much taping, but a sleeve that you would use on your ankle or like you might use on your knee.
Thank you for the question, Jack. For the sleeve, a sleeve is more for rehabilitation purposes. So it helps move the blood flow around your ankle, your bones, and your muscles to promote the healthy healing. For our brace, it does both prevention for ankle sprains and also rehabilitation. So as opposed to the sleeve, it also does prevention. So it'll kind of resist and restore the forces that the ankle feels, but also does that rehabilitation phase by altering the stiffness of the actual brace. And so by doing that, what we'll do is either change the area of the diamonds that you saw in the picture, so where it's smaller. So we have more diamonds, essentially more material, which makes the brace stiffer. And by that, we're able to limit the amount of motion that the ankle is experiencing so that it does not, keep injuring itself. And so it does a mixture of both.
There is a question from Bruce. Have you talked with any orthopedic doctors?
We have not. That is on the list of things to do this upcoming semester with the undergraduates that are kind of assisting us with this project. We do have a few physical therapists that are willing to write a review on it and do a full medical review of our ankle brace. So this is something that we are going to do in the future.
The other question from Bruce is that how are you going to coordinate the fitting manufacturing with the brace with a 3D print?
Right now, what we have in mind is kind of like a software. And so we are going to start looking at that come the spring semester of next year. And so we want to create a software and work with the software engineers actually at the senior design projects in our Embry-Riddle University, and hopefully we can get some kind of software that will analyze the ankle and get specific points on where we want to design the ankle brace for each person. And from there, we'll implement that software into the 3D printer by converting the files, and then from there we can do print the ankle brace.
Any other question? She has 20 seconds.
I would ask, do you need any certification or approval from any medical organization to market this?
Thank you, Jim. At the moment, I'm not sure about that. If my CEO has anything to add to that, she can.
I would love to answer that question for you. Since this is not a medical device, it's not something you're putting into your body, you don't need any approval to use it in sports or as a private person.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, time's up.
Thank you, everyone.
Good.
Thank you, ladies.
Can you please take your PowerPoint? Wait, good. Thank you so much, Sophie. And
okay, we'll move right to our next presenter. And this is, the product is Soundless Sleep. And the inventor is Jonathan Stark, also with Embry-Riddle.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're well. Unfortunately, I kind of live under an airstrip, so if you hear planes in the background, my apologies in advance. So let me share my screen. I am ready when you are.
okay, 3, 2, 1. Go, Jonathan.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Stark, and I present to you Soundless Sleep. The story begins almost 2 years ago when my father and I took a trip to Atlanta, Georgia in the summer. And if you know anything about Georgia in the summer, you cannot sleep without air conditioning. However, ours was broken. See, every time it went around, it made a tick-tack, tick-tack, tick-tack noise. That was so annoying. And if you've ever tried to sleep in a sound-full environment like I did, you know that it is an almost impossible and mind-numbing task, exhausting even. And in that moment, I couldn't take it anymore. So I took my pillow and I hugged it to my ears and waited for the noise to stop. And in that moment, I realized, if you want better sleep, you need to get a better pillow. But more than that, the world needs the first noise-blocking pillow. That's right, I'm talking about the world's first fully noise-blocking pillow. A pillow that goes over your head like such, that extends from your shoulders to your temples, coming up to your cheekbones, completely encasing your ears in noise-blocking premium memory foam. A pillow that was designed with 360-degree comfort in mind, such that it has a contour in the back of the neck to align your neck in the perfect and optimal sleeping position. A pillow designed with the traveler in mind, designed such that it can compress down into a compression sack and fit in universally any backpack, solidifying this product as the next item that you cannot leave home without. As we took our prototype to our different markets, we realized that our market was threefold. Our introductory market will be the 18 to 25-year-old college students with roommates, people who cannot stand their roommate making strange noises at 3 a.m. This market is motivated and ready to buy. Moving forward into our stage 2, people with snoring spouses often suffer from reduced intimacy. This problem can be solved with a noise-blocking pillow. Furthermore, big city dwellers, they don't like hearing noise all the time. But finally, our bread and butter, our stage 3, what we want to get to is the frequent flyers. Getting into the Hudson newsstand is one of our absolute goals and dreams for this company. But money talks, and to define what we're talking about, the initial production refers to the first 100 units. And in that, we will have a 14% margin with a cost of goods sold sitting at around $16.79, retailing for $49.99. The breakdown is here, and you can see our cost to sell is rather conservative. But we believe branding is an investment. And as we continue our branding, our cost of goods sold, or our cost to sell will decrease exponentially. And so will our cost of goods sold as we approach our 2,000 units mark, as the volume will decrease as the order volume will decrease the cost. And in that, we are projected to have an 85% margin by 2021. Our go-to-market strategy is quite simple. We are a fully e-commerce integrated platform using both Amazon and our proprietary website that is currently up and running. Furthermore, we will market with Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and YouTube ads, as that is where the majority of 18 to 25-year-olds spend their time. And we feel that that is the best way to find them. Our competitors don't quite exist. That's the problem with inventing something that has never been seen before. However, people are solving this problem in other ways. In the top right, you will see the ostrich pillow, what they market as the premier napping pillow. But based off of its design alone, you can see my reservations about that product. In the center, you will see the noise-blocking headphones. Noise-canceling headphones. The sales of these products have grown dramatically over the past few years, showing that people are getting increasingly more annoyed with background noise and want to block it out at all costs. Finally, there's this guy, the MyPillow guy. While we don't see him as a direct competitor, we see him as a potential exit strategy. Someone selling $380 million worth of pillows every year is absolutely someone we would like to meet. Let's look at our milestones and projections. This isn't something we've just been talking about. We've actually done this. We've established our sales plan, tested our market. We found a manufacturer. I personally have studied at the Test Flight Bootcamp and gone to CEO and pitched this idea there. Moving forward, we will begin verifying our prototype and creating more prototypes to truly lock down a perfect manufacturing design. And by winter, we will be selling all 100 units. So what's next? And we need a provisional patent, we need market contacts, distribution centers, and filmed advertisement. All of this can be done with the $10,000 prize money from the Cairns Foundation. You can see the breakdown of that here. And all of that, I would like to leave you with this. When you sleep well tonight, you are ready to take on the challenges of tomorrow with a clear mind, an open heart, and a happy soul. Thank you. Once again, my name is Jonathan Stark. I am the CEO and founder of Soundless Sleep, and I look forward to continuing this after the meeting.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Okay.
Connie?
Yes. Okay, good. Good timing. Perfect. Let's start with the questions for Jonathan. Let's start. 3 minutes. Questions.
Jonathan, this is Jeff. Can you refresh for me, what is you had a 14% margin in your early phase and then a 85%. What is your sell price in both of those scenarios?
Our sell price is going to go from $49.99, which is competitive with current unbranded pillows, and 85% is at a $65.99, which is also competitive with branded pillows.
And how do you justify increasing your price in the marketplace?
Rebranding. People are willing to pay more for a Tempur-Pedic sits at around $85. The MyPillow, I believe, is $64.99 for two. But all of these brand name pillows are significantly more sought after in the market.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, have a question here from Bruce. Question is, have you looked at the technology of ANC headphones and incorporation of your product into a pilot?
I have looked into making this an active noise canceling. However, at this stage, that just adds cost. The noise blocking properties of the foam work quite well. And having electronics so close to your head all night long is seen right now as a potential concern. So there would be needing to have more testing in that.
Good. Any other question? He has 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Well, I guess I will ask a question. You mentioned that there were no competitors, but then at the outset, but then you mentioned a few other pillows, and there are a number of pillows patented for noise cancellation.
Correct.
Can you respond to that?
Noise canceling is different than noise blocking.
Pardon, I misspoke. Noise blocking.
Okay, in my patent search, we've also begun that. If we go out, we would be looking for a design patent. The only patent that I've seen come close is a Korean product that also blocks eyesight and goes completely at 360 degrees around the head. So unfortunately, that's all I can speak to on that.
Okay, I'll give you a couple patent numbers to look at.
Okay, thank you.
Later.
27 seconds.
Hi, Jonathan. This is Jennifer, and I was just wondering, in terms of a case and a protective for the memory foam, is that going to be sold separately, and how do you have, like, what hygiene products will help protect that?
Great question. Thank you. We are currently working on making a pillowcase for this, which is I'm in contact with several upholstery services trying to make this a reality. That case will be fully machine washable. So you pull that case off just like you would any regular pillow, stick it in the wash, put it right back on.
Okay, time's up. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thanks for the questions. Okay, Jonathan, can you get your PowerPoint away? Okay, Rick, who's next?
Thank you, Jonathan. We're moving to our last presentation for the Innovation Challenge, and I must say that it took me a while to find Daniel. He has graduated from Daytona State, and he's working. I think he's actually taking time off this afternoon to do his presentation. His presentation is called Sleeve, and this is Daniel Wolf with Daytona State College. Daniel, you there?
Yep, I'm here. I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Where are you? I cannot see you. Oh, I see you. Okay, good. Okay, Daniel, tell me when you're ready, so I start the timing.
We had one other person that was supposed to be in this call, Nick, our other partner, but he doesn't seem to be here.
Is Nick in the meeting?
I don't
I don't see Nick in the.
Daniel, why don't you get ready to kick off? Just let Connie know when you're ready.
Yep. All right. You ready, Connie?
Yeah, 3, 2, 4.
All right. I'm Daniel Wolf. This is Daniel Brown, and our other partner is Nicholas Burnett. And our product's the Sleet Sleeve, your camping cooler solution.
So picture this. You're fishing with all your buddies, having a great time out on the boat. Just actually catch some fish. You throw them in the cooler, close the lid, proceed with the rest of your day, get home, clean the boat up, put the boat away, go on with the rest of your day. A few days later, you go out to your garage and realize that you made a big mistake when you smell the fish that you forgot in the cooler. Not only did you ruin your expensive cooler, but your day is ruined because you're going to spend the rest of the day trying to scrub that cooler clean, but you'll never get that fish smell out of that cooler. So that's when I got with Daniel and Nick, and we realized that we needed to find a solution. And we thought, what could we do? You know, we all have 5-gallon buckets in our garages, so why not make a cooler out of a 5-gallon bucket, something that will go around it. That way, if this happens again, we can just exchange the 5-gallon bucket and be on with our day. So that's what we did. We made the Sleet Sleeve with a watertight insulated lid and with some modular attachment points on the outside, allowing us to use it how we want, you know. So there's a couple of things like that we use, and that's the story behind the Sleet Sleeve.
So the market for is going to be in the camping cooler market. It shows a 6.4% growth growth rate, and it's a very, very high valued market. The market size is for a single person carrying size cooler. That's no more than 10 gallons. This is a large market, and there's only 5 comparable competitors. Of those 5, we expect to gain 75% control of the cooler sleeve market. This is a matrix showing how we compare to those 5 competitors. As you can see, those 5 competitors lack in multiple areas that we excel in. We plan on using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other marketable places to sell our product and to advertise it. We plan on also using Amazon and a website that we will develop. We want to continue to grow and contact local providers and have local partners around the area to help us sell. We have already reached out to a friend of ours that owns New Smyrna Beach Outfitters, and he's already offered to put it in his stores on his floor and sell it whenever we're ready. We want to produce it from at home with a couple easy sewing machines and just to get the operation off the ground cheaply and effectively. We want to work with our distributors to try to get better pricing. And we plan on going to different expos around the area to actually promote our outdoor expos, specifically to promote our product. Each product, the material cost is going to be $29.51 for a total of $29,510 for a $1,000 production run. We're planning on an hour and a half worth of labor time per product once we get under production. We're hoping, or the unit variable cost is going to be $53.34. That's material, that's shipping, that's pretty much everything that it takes to get the product into the consumer's hands. And we plan on marketing and selling our product for $65 a piece for the initial selling of it to get the product off the ground, hopefully being able to raise the product later on, raise the price later on. First year of funding for 1,000 parts, it would be $53,340 to produce and get the product 1,000 parts into our customers' hands. Second year, we're going to grow to 15%, making it 1,150 produced with a variable cost of $61,341. And we appreciate your guys' time. And these are a couple pictures of our product.
We also have it sitting behind us here. It's kind of hard to see, but that is our actual prototype that we have.
Okay, good job. 25 seconds left. Good. Okay, so now we are going to open for questions. Okay, questions for Daniel.
So this is Jeff.
Jeff.
You mentioned that the inspiration was, you know, fish left over in your cooler and, you know, the residual smell and cleaning it out. In the sleet sleeve, you have a 5-gallon bucket. And then when you close the top, how do you actually, you know, seal the top of the 5-gallon bucket? And, you know, so if you...
So the lid itself actually seals. It's got a gasket inside and it clips on. We've done multiple testing, making sure the lid fits multiple different types of buckets because they range in size a little bit, but not much. And then once that goes on, there's actually a whole sleeve that fits over the top that you pull tight.
With a drawstring.
With a drawstring to actually cover the lid yet again to make sure no debris gets on the top of it.
All right, very good. You guys are ahead of my question there. Very good.
Appreciate the question.
So I have a question, Daniel. So where is the ice? What is the cooling part of in your prototype?
We have about an inch of insulation on the inside of the sleeve. Kind of hard to see in the video, but it wraps all the way around in the bottom. We did some testing with ice, and I believe it lasted, was it over, do you remember the hours on it? 24? It held solid ice for over 10 hours. I think that's as far as we did the testing on it. So it does, you know, and we think we did it versus a regular 5-gallon bucket, you know, laying out in the sun. So we're definitely effective in its design.
As you can see, it's kind of thick here. This is where the insulation actually is. So the bucket fits inside, and the insulation is actually all the way around it.
So do I have to put that in there in the freezer and then take it out, or just ice?
It's just a normal insulator on a normal, like a cooler. They're normally filled with a foam.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So this you just store. You can fold it up any way you want to, and just store this, and then stick your bucket in there whenever you're ready.
Good. Any other question?
Is the sleeve washable at all?
With the material that we put in it, or put around it, it's nylon. It should be able to go in the washer, but I would not say to put it in a dryer.
Okay, there is a question from Bruce here. Is what's the composition of the sleeve?
The composition? So what's the sleeve made out of?
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that's questions from Bruce.
Yeah, so it's a nylon outside liner, and then we just have it's a polymer foam on the inside of it. So it's just foam, and then the nylon liner actually wrapping around it.
Okay, time's up. Thank you so much, Daniel. Okay, Rick, I think.
Thank you to both Daniels. Okay, that wraps up our 6 presenters for this session of the Innovation Challenge. The judges now are going to have the difficult task of getting on another Zoom call and trying to decide of these 6 presentations, the first 2 winners, I guess. So having been a judge in the past, I know it's very, very difficult. I wish the judges all well. I want to thank all 6 presenters. I think you all did a great job, which is going to make the judges' task even harder. I will mention to the faculty advisors and the students that we ask you to join us again at 6 o'clock for the award presentation. The judges are now going to go into a judging session, and then hopefully you all have the Zoom information for a 6 o'clock awards presentation. And we'll see you all back for that. So I guess, Jim, before we sign off, do you have any comments before we get to the judging?
Daniel, can you stop your PowerPoint, Daniel, please, so we can see everybody? Daniel?
Rick, yeah, thank you. I just want to thank all of the presenters. I think everyone did a great job. And I think as a whole, it's the most interesting group of projects taken as a whole that we've had in recent times. So I applaud you all and appreciate it very much.
Yes. I like this whole virtual thing. I can see everybody. I wish we can just have some coffee now and wait while the judges deliver. But you're gonna have a break, have some coffee, maybe popcorn, and join us again at 6.
Bruce has some questions he put up, Connie. Can you see them?
I'm sorry, Jim. Can you say it again?
Has just put up, oh, there are his questions. I beg your pardon. Yeah. No,
Yeah. I've been reading the questions from Bruce. Actually, Bruce, thanks for the questions. They were really good.
Yes, he's asking for the Zoom number for the judging session.
Oh, no. The judging session is only for judges. And nobody's allowed to get into that.
He's a judge.
Oh, he's a judge. Oh, Bruce. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Great. So you can just, we will send to you the link again, okay? Bruce, I'll send it to you right now, whenever everybody's gone.
How about the other judges? Do you need it too?
I wouldn't mind getting it again, actually. Yes.
Yes. And to confirm, it's 5 o'clock, or are we going to go right into the judging session?
No, we're going to have a break right now, Jeff. Only judges are going to stay from 5 to 5:30, just to the teams. And then everybody is going to have a break. And then we will invite everybody to come and join us at 6 p.m. for the award ceremony.
Right. So the judges will get back on at 5.
Only judges, yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Connie, I guess Jeff was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, but we finished a little early, so we've got actually 40 minutes until 5 o'clock. Now, did you reserve a time from 5 for the judges that we have to stick to?
Yeah. So this meeting goes until 4:30, and then everybody's allowed to go and have a break, and then judges will join us at 5 p.m. And then everybody will come at 6. But anyway, I want to say thank you so much for everybody that tuned in right now, especially my boss. I know my boss is Caroline. Are you in, Caroline Dykes? Caroline?
Yes, thank you. This has been just so inspiring. You know, I have chances to see our UCF students a lot of times, their ideas. But it's wonderful to see the students from some of the other academic institutions. And several of these products I'm ready to buy. So, you know, great job. And thank you to all of you with the Cairns Foundation. We so appreciate the wonderful collaboration that we've had for a number of years. And you get to work with Connie, which is always a gift for any of us. So thank you, Connie.
Thank you, Caroline. And she's my new boss, everybody. I'm so excited about it.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So do we have anybody from Volusia County in the meeting? Who's another sponsor of the event? Volusia County Economic Development? I guess we don't have anybody from the Economic Development. Good. Awesome. Any questions from the audience before we leave the room? I got an email, a text from one of the faculty members, and he said it's an amazing event. We love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I think we're all ready to go and have some coffee. And I'll see you again at 6 p.m., everybody.
Let me get started with just a couple of words. I did sit in on the judges meeting as the executive director of the foundation. I did not have any input, nor did I vote. So it was only the judges that had the discussion and the vote. And I got to tell you, just like the presentations, there was some very, very healthy discussion, some very good points. And the deliberation that the judges did was solid. Nobody was shortchanged, and it's a tough decision. We had 4 judges. Clockwise, as I saw them on the Zoom screen, I guess it's counterclockwise. Dr. Jim Cairns, Dr. Bruce Mann, Rob Earhart, and Jeff Bedovich. Everybody knows Jim, I think, but Jim, if you want to start that brief discussion off, we'll get on with the festivities.
Okay, my name is Jim, and I thank you all.
Thank you.
Jim's bio was led us off at this session. So, Bruce, how about you?
Bruce Mann. I'm a endodontist and on faculty at University of Florida, also in private practice in Ormond Beach.
Okay, and Rob?
I'm Rob Earhart. I'm retired from the county's Economic Development Division, and I would just ask everyone on the call, when you have the opportunity, please find a county council member and thank them for their continued financial support of this initiative that is the Volusia County Business Incubator, powered by UCF.
Okay, thank you. And Jeff?
Hi, my name is Jeff Badovic, and I am actually a career entrepreneur. I've owned numerous businesses over the course of my career. I still am invested in a number of companies, and I currently am doing some consulting work with some companies both here locally and other parts of the country, as well as sit on the board of numerous companies.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. I know you were prepared for that, but I think Connie had a good point. Okay, at this point, for the announcement of the winners and his own comments, we're going to turn it over to Dr. Jim Cairns, and he's going to take it from here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to thank everybody involved in this. It came off a lot better today than we thought it was going to, or we thought it might go haywire with the virtual presentation. But thanks to Connie and others and Rick, it went well. This was, I think, the best group of presentations that we've ever had at this event. And we're not quite sure why, but all of that, I think the coaches did a good job and Connie did a good job and everybody presented very well. And all the projects seemed viable, and our decision as judges was very, very difficult. But we have come up with a second place and first place winners. And so I will announce the second place winner first. The second place winner, I will reiterate, gets a prize of $5,000 to be applied to their project. That prize is put up by the Hunter Foundation. And they also get a year's of non-resident enrollment with the Daytona Beach and UCF Business Incubator. And the winner of that is the SIQ ankle brace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. And
I'm holding up the virtual check.
okay, let's put a little bit up, Rick, up. Yes, so now, yeah.
Anyhow, we think you did a great presentation and your product has a lot of potential. And I think with the help of the Business Incubator, you'll be able to get it launched. So congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Good job, Cairns. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges.
All right, well, the first prize then receives, I'll reiterate, $10,000 in cash to be awarded to the help support their project. And that is put up by the Cairns Foundation. And a 1 year's residency at the UCF Business Incubator in Daytona Beach, and supported both by UCF and by the Volusia County. So that's a wonderful prize and should get you off to a rocket start. And the winner of that is UBIHIRE.
Before you're even signing everything, it's kind of, I like to think of it as prenups.
Okay, UBIHIRE
Thank you guys so much.
Deja, you are the first place winner. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for your support in this wonderful opportunity.
Okay, do you want to say something else, Deja and Sophie and Ethan?
My parents offered me to come back. And
Yeah,
just like,
we would just like myself, Isa, and Quinn, just thank you so much for this opportunity, just to be a part of this learning experience, and of course the fund now will really help us in the process of getting this to the market.
loving.
Well, congratulations to both of you, all three of you, I guess.
I'll say the judges were very, very impressed with your product and your presentation. Everybody thought you should change the name.
Yeah, that can be a bit confusing with the sick ankle brace.
Anyhow, congratulations to both of you.
Yeah, we have somebody in the chat. Lou Paris is telling to Deja, congratulations, Deja. He's very proud of you. I bet you, you are one of his students. And then I have Jack Pfeiffer also saying congratulations to all. Bryson Pitcher, our last year winner, is congratulations to both of you. More people are saying congratulations to the participants. Can you all see the chat?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, good. So I don't have to read this. Okay, so any questions from the audience? Everyone is yoo-hoo. Kevin Taylor is yoo-hoo. Well done.
You all should be very, very proud, all of you, of what you have done. It's just great to see.
Yeah, and Lou is saying, I am actually very proud of all the presenters. Yes, all of them, they did great. Congratulations.
And I'll just add that I thought everything was great as well. It's certainly the presentations, in my estimation, were earned a grade A. Everyone did a great job, tough judging. To the winners, I know you know this, but the Cairns Foundation would like to stay in touch with you. There are actually some requirements that there's a board member. Once you start your organization, we ask that a board member be placed from the Cairns Foundation so that we can kind of keep track of what's going on and offer any suggestions ongoing. One of the things that Dr. Cairns loves to do is mentor people. So we ask that you consider at some point when you get your organization formed that you allow us to put a non-voting board member on your board so that we can kind of keep track of things. And we also would like to know how the money is being spent and what it's being spent on. And those are the really only two requirements that we would like to see continue as we go along. So again, congratulations to all 6 presenters. I think it was a great job, and we look forward to next year.